Hello everybody, welcome back to 366 Days of Hope. My name is Pearl and I'm here to share our next topic, which is my 4 running app reviews. So I've used multiple running apps over the last decade, and I have just found that there are certain things about my personal character that I have just known exactly what I want out of an app. And it's taken me some time, and after a few, I have definitely found one that I think works for me, but I'm not certain yet as I'm still testing that one out. But of the 4 that I have, used and tested, I'm going to share kind of my reviews on it, especially if you're kind of on the fence of trying to find a good running app that you are not certain of. So for me, if you are a beginner, I'm going to start with that. If you're a beginner and you're just wanting to, find an app that helps progress your running, then the app that I would recommend is called Just Run. And this is a no-nonsense app. It is so direct. It doesn't require a login, but it does help you maintain a running lifestyle. So one of the things that it does is it gives you 2 options. It'll give you an option for, if you're a beginner, then you're trying to progress from 0 miles basically to 3 miles, and then from 3 miles onto a half marathon. And so what it will do is it will give you a regimented schedule on your running. So you would be running 3 times a week, and in those programs, it tells you how long these runs are. And within those runs, it will do an interval style training, which is great if you are a beginner and you've never ran before. But if you're an avid runner like myself, this was quite an annoyance. But I wasn't certain as to what I was getting myself into. At first, I thought it was a tracker, but it's not. It mainly encourages you to propel yourself based on the time that you have to accomplish. So if you've been running for like 30 minutes, there's this assumption that you will have fulfilled a certain degree of miles, right? But it doesn't tell you how many miles you've accomplished. It doesn't calculate where you ran, so there's no GPS tracking. There is no information regarding how fast you've ran. If you're kind of wanting to know a little bit about your speed and your progress to compare it to something, there isn't that. It literally is just a run and follow the cues, and that's basically what that is. I would say this is great for beginners and who have never ran before. This is the perfect app. Then there is by Zypoxa, but it is a running and jogging app that I personally really enjoyed. It does require you to log in information and to get into the app, and it also is very no nonsense as well. It's straightforward. It doesn't have a lot of diving into a community. It doesn't have it where it shares your results to other aspects of social media platforms, which some people may not want, like myself. I don't want to share it on multiple platforms. I just like to share it with maybe when I want to share it, and maybe when I do terribly, I don't want that to be shared either. And it's not to say that the other apps don't allow you to do that. It's just when it posts, like if you're part of the community, then everybody in the community sees your progress. And I personally didn't like that feature in one of the apps that I was using. But for Zypoxa's running and jogging app, I really liked it because, like I said, it was no nonsense. It tracked exactly the things that I was wanting to measure, like my speed, how fast I've gone. It gives you a really great graph as to, at what points you were peaking the most or you were descending, like when your run time started to drop. It showed when your run times were at its best. I really liked personally that feature of the app. I also loved that you're able to see your distance. You were able to, so there's a GPS tracker, so you could see like how far you ran, what route you've taken. And personally for me, that was something that I really enjoyed about the app. The third one was Map My Run. Now, I also like the feature in Map My Run where you could actually write your route before you ran. Not very many apps do that, and this particular one does. And so you could create a map that you would want before you ran, and you would be able to know how far it is before you ran it. So you could kind of have a mental game plan of, okay, well, if I know it's 7 miles, I want to see if I can make it within like this time frame. And then it kind of helps. I mean, you'll have to be very self-motivated to get yourself there, but I really like that aspect of the app, and that personally motivated me when I was able to do it. The only problem I had with it was that it was so tedious to do. I had to be on my computer to be able to map my run, and also I had to be really careful, and there was a lot of times where it was a little bit tedious to be able to put all those markers in the right places, so then it mapped it properly. And also, if you forgot your phone and you wanted to map it, you could map it later, and then you could say how long it took you if you happen to know that time frame. But I just personally didn't like that part. It was just too tedious. So that part kind of bothered me. The last app is, of course, Strava. Strava also requires you to do a login, and so does Map My Run. It does the same thing. All of it require you to do a login to get into the app. And so, again, another feature that isn't my favorite. The other thing about Strava is that it gives you like badges, and it gives you challenges for the different types of activities that you may like to do, like running, jogging, biking, using treadmill, I believe, as well. So you could map all of these different type of activities, which is nice. It's all in one app. The only thing I wasn't in love with was the community features in it, and also the fact that, like, if you're connected, say, in a group with other people, then whatever workouts that you do sometimes can get put into it as well. So then they'll see, what you've done. And there were days where I was having bad days, and I don't think I wanted to share that with everybody. So that was the one feature I was not particularly liking. However, there are other aspects of it that was really nice in terms of like how it logged everything. You could, if you were wanting to be challenged with another friend and you're pretty competitive, then you could actually have that sort of competitive aspect in it within the app between you and a friend, or between you and a group of people that that are sharing that app. So that is kind of a nice feature with it if that's your thing. Personally, for me, that wasn't my favorite part of it. I am a very much no-nonsense person who just wants to collect my data that I feel like is important for me to know. So that wasn't my big fave. Right now, I am on another running app. I have not fully used it, so I'll see what I think about it in the next a few weeks or months. But so far, these are my 4 reviews in terms of how I would rate it. My all-time favorite app that I definitely enjoyed using was Zapoxia. It was just no nonsense. I absolutely loved it. I just not using it now, mainly because I can't remember my passwords, and I'm just not wanting to constantly need to do a login every time I switch up my phone, because I just forget, and I'm just too lazy to start. And plus, I always like trying new apps anyway, so when that tends to happen, I usually switch, which is what happened to like all of the rest of the other apps, which is why I've changed. The second one I would say is definitely Map My Run. And because I really like those features that I mentioned earlier. Oh, the third one would be Just Run, and last would be Strava. So it really depends, obviously, on your lifestyle, but this is personally my opinion, so take it for what it is. Nonetheless, I hope that you guys enjoy and keep maintaining your health, no matter what app it is that you use. If you find one that just helps spur you on, then that is great. And with that said, guys, may you live, thrive, and be healthy, and keep fighting for your health. Bye!